Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to my series about Venus in all 12 houses. Thank you for journeying with me with this series. Now, you'll find as you watch this video that it is divided into two parts. The first section of the video is exploring the nature of Venus mythologically, astronomically, and of course, astrologically. So all those components will be explored here through a video that I did some years ago when I was a lot younger that was talking about all these things. So I've inserted that piece into this video for you to enjoy. But if you're here just to find out about the houses, then you can skip to the second part of the video, which is exploring the effects of beautiful Venus in each house of the horoscope. So I do hope you enjoy both components and get something out of it that can apply to your life. May I also encourage you, if you haven't done so already, to check out the lead video in this series, which is looking at Venus karmically and through an evolutionary astrology or karmic astrology lens to ascertain how Venus affects our relationships based on the journey of our soul over many lifetimes. This is a fantastic video. I'm actually quite chuffed about it, quite proud of it. So I do hope you have the time to go to the lead video in this series in the playlist and check out that video all about karmic Venus and its influence. And now, without any further ado, let us dive into the mythology, the astronomy, and the astrology of the beautiful planet in the night sky, Venus. So I thought I'd start by taking a little bit of a peek at what Venus actually represents. Now, in astronomy, not astrology, but in astronomy, the astronomy of the planet Venus, she's the only planet that can shine so brightly that she can cause shadows on Earth. Now, the moon does as a reflection of the sun's light. We know that happens. You can be out on a very strong moonlit night and see shadows and play of light that's actually quite beautiful. But the only planet that can do this is actually Venus, interestingly enough. And so sometimes she is just so bright in the sky. She's the brightest entity in the sky aside from the sun and moon. Sometimes she can be so bright that she causes shadows. That's only occasionally, but she can do it. One thing about Venus is that she rotates so slowly in the sky that she takes 234 Earth days to do one single rotation. As such, she actually has the slowest rotation of any planet in the whole solar system. And she is the hottest planet in the solar system. Even though Mercury is closer to the sun, due to the dense clouds of sulfur dioxide on planet Venus, any heat from the sun is trapped within those clouds and her thin atmosphere, causing the heat of the planet to be just so much hotter than Mercury, even though Mercury is in much closer proximity. So she is the hottest planet in the solar system as well. And of course, those of us who did our grade 5 astronomy lessons know that Venus sits as the second planet in the solar system, the second planet from the sun. You've got the sun, and then you've got Mercury, and then there's Venus, and then Earth. And she is considered also to be something of a sister planet to the Earth, as they're similar in size. So she's the nearest planet to Earth, and that's why she shines so brightly in the sky, not the star. Now, the mythology of Venus is also very interesting. The name Venus is the ancient Roman name for the goddess of love and beauty. In Greek, it was Aphrodite. So in Greco-Roman mythology, they share similar characteristics and similar qualities. So both Aphrodite and Venus, they governed fertility, romance, prosperity, and victory as well, interestingly. She was worshipped in many temples and many festivals all throughout Rome and as Aphrodite in Greece. And some people, including Julius Caesar, even considered her to be the ancestor of the Roman people. Of course, he'd attach himself to somebody as glorious as Aphrodite or Venus, wouldn't he? Now, some mythological legends say that Venus, was the daughter of the gods Zeus and Dione. There are some other legends, though, that say that she was birthed from the sea, not from a god itself, but birthed from the sea after Uranus was castrated by his son Saturn. So essentially, to get kind of gross here, hope you've got the M rating on this particular video, but Saturn castrated his father Kronos in mythology, otherwise known as Uranus, and from that castrated member that fell to earth into the oceans of Gaia, the earth, there arose out of the sea foam of that dismemberment the goddess Venus. So fascinating mythology there. I do want to talk a little more about the mythology of Venus, but at a later point, where we look at her mythology around being the morning and the evening star. So I'm going to explore that for you. Stay tuned for a little bit later in the video for that aspect of her mythology. But in astrology, Venus tells us about our enjoyment of pleasurable and beautiful things. She tells us about our love relationships, our connections with others. The things we need to live a comfortable life are also seen from Venus in a tangible sense. You know, our shoes, our clothes, our food, our cars, our shelter, all those nice, lovely things that we like to acquire to make life more comfortable for us. So wherever Venus sits in our chart is going to tell us all about how we interact with these ideas: love, beauty, pleasure, possessions, things we need to support our journey through life, refinement, sophistication, and women as well, seen through Venus, particularly young women. So wherever Venus sits in the chart, whatever sign, is going to tell us a lot about the dynamic that we have with those elements. Venus rules the sign of Taurus and Libra, and they're both very different signs, but they do, both of them, carry a quality of beauty about them, a quality of pleasure, a quality of interaction and relationship. I'll compare the two of them for you just so that you know the great gamut of characteristics that Venus actually rules. Taurus is this very earthly, natural beauty. Taurus correlates to the natural realm of Earth, and so butterflies essentially, but also forests and, you know, generally speaking, the things of nature like the animals and the flora, fauna, and, you know, rivers and lakes and mountains and just the earth and being in nature is Venus in a general sense. Venus also correlates through Taurus to money, making money, the tangible things, like I said before, that we need to support our journey through life, like pleasurable things, yummy food, going out to a restaurant and eating at a lovely food, and clothing, shopping, beauty therapies, beauty treatments. These are seen through the sign of Taurus and Venus's rulership of the sign of Taurus. It's also self-love that we associate with the energy of Taurus as well. The ability to feel safe, to be secure, is seen through Taurus. Venus rules Libra as well. Now Libra, as opposed to Taurus's type of beauty, which is that natural, earthy kind of beauty, we might think something we want to touch, something we want to hug, something we want to be close to and be a part of even. We might even compare it to, say, the beauty of Marilyn Monroe, which, you know, men wanted to hold her, women wanted to be her. There is this desirability factor with the beauty of Marilyn Monroe, very Taurian. Not so much natural, she was bleached blonde and everything, but she had that desirability, sensuality factor of Taurus. Libra, on the other hand, is more the Grace Kelly type of beauty. You just admire it. My God, it's breathtaking. Look how beautiful and elegant she is. That's Libran beauty. It's not so tactile. It's not so touch focused. It is more, let's say, adoration focused. So it's that kind of sophisticated, classic, refined beauty that we see through the sign of Libra, also ruled by Venus. Libra is also ruled by Venus, and it covers things like diplomacy, fairness, equality, making harmony and balance a priority. It's the peacemaker. It's like I said, harmonizing situations, harmonizing interactions between people. All these are seen through the sign of Libra, and Libra rules relationships. Not just the tactile, sensual, let's get down to the nitty-gritty kind of stuff of Taurus, but more the I love you, I'm committed to you, beyond the touch, taste, see, hear, and smell. I am in a love, intimacy bond with you, we see through the sign of Libra that Venus rules. It's also business partnerships. It's quite a business-oriented sign, Libra. And so it connects to those things as well. And our interactions with the other, anyone else can be seen. Our relationships are seen through Venus. Libra ruled by Venus. Now Venus is, if you want to use an archetypal image, she's like this beautiful goddess or a beautiful woman. She is a feminine energy, or an ancient goddess full of this wonderful self-love, because she is very, very connected to the idea of self-love. You must be in love with the self, and then you have something to offer others. All of us, even men, will have Venus in the chart somewhere. And because of this, we have Venus in our hearts. We have a love of beauty somewhere tucked away in us. We have a love of giving love and receiving love to some capacity within us. Venus teaches us to love the beauty in other people, no matter what it looks like, how different it is to us. By really embodying the full self-love component of Venus, we learn to love the beauty in others, whatever that shape that takes, and we allow ourselves to be loved and to be uniquely beautiful as well when we fully embrace the energy and the beauty of Venus. Quite a fabulous, adorable little planet. Venus in the 7th house. Well, as you can imagine, this is actually quite a good placement for Venus to be. We have a natural association with the 7th house and Libra, which Venus rules. So what it tends to bring us in life when we have Venus in the 7th house is beautiful partners. This is the house of our partner, not of us, but of everything opposite to us, our partners in life. Beautiful partners, charming partners are seen with Venus in the 7th house. And equal, balanced, harmonious relationships are very, very important with Venus in the 7th house. You will not settle for imbalanced relationships. That will not be what you're here to do in this lifetime. You are here to have very harmonious, balanced relationships. Your partner, as well as you, will also enjoy being out socializing, because this is generally, it's an air house and it's associated with, socializing. Air houses are the social signs and social houses, air houses, and of course air signs are the social signs. So you and your partner will probably enjoy, Venus is what we enjoy, connecting with others, socializing, and also enjoying pleasures that are more refined and sophisticated. This is a sophisticated energy. So that's great if that's what you're into. When you get married, it will tend to improve your public status. Why is that? Because this is the house, the 7th house is the house of how the public perceives you. So, how you present yourself is seen through the 1st house, but how the public perceives you, 7th house. People might find you very beautiful, very appealing, very attractive, especially after you marry. This is the house of marriage, and Venus is a planet of relationships. So that beauty, that appeal comes in once you get married. Venus is also where we spend money for pleasure. So you'll like to spend money on your partner. You'll enjoy that. You'll enjoy spoiling your partner. Or in the 7th house, you might enjoy spending your money on more refined cultural experiences. You might spend a lot of money on consultations with professionals, maybe a counselor or an astrologer, or getting advice from people might be where you spend your money. And this area is also where you can make more money in life as well. You can make money through consultation, being a consultant, being a counselor, generating refined cultural experiences for people, hosting an art gallery or running a high-end restaurant, that kind of thing can be what makes you money with Venus in the 7th house. Now, there can be problems in a relationship. So all relationships can hit hurdles at times. And in the case of Venus in the 7th house, these problems in relationships can arise through being too financially indulgent. Okay? Too, free with the money, and then, you're struggling and things become pressurized. However, it is a really good position to negotiate with your partner through problems and through issues to do with finances, Venus in the 7th house. So you can really work it out well and create more balance with a partner. Now, highly centralized relationships are seen with Venus in the 7th house, and relationships with a good sex life here. Venus has to do, Mars is desire, Venus is desire, and Mars is the physical expression of desire. So both planets have to do with desire. And so Venus is the sensual, pleasure-filled experience of sex and desire. Mars is the physical, bodily act of, pursuing the satisfaction of desire. Mars energy is all about that. We'll talk about that in the next video. So there may not be deep intimacy with Venus in the 7th house, but there'll be pleasurable intimacy. Venus is not a very intense, deep kind of a planet. It's much more material level of things. So pleasurable intimacy is available. Sensual intimacy is available when you have 7th house Venus. Partners that you attract, you might go for partners that have good wealth or money status. You'll want somebody, Venus is money, in the house of relationships. You'll want somebody who can provide you with the luxuries and financial resources that give security and stability in our lives. And you'll look for somebody like that, so that's what you'll end up with. This is a good position though, Venus in the 7th house. You will enjoy things like advising, consulting. You'll enjoy negotiating in business relationships. It's a house of business too. And your marriage partner or a business partner can actually be someone who teaches you skills in those areas and brings those capacities to your own life. You may partner with women, especially young women. Venus is young women in business. So if you're looking to get someone to collaborate with and share in business, when you've got this placement, look for a woman to go into business with. Venus, when it's in this placement, in Vedic astrology, it sends a full aspect to the 1st house. So it's going to make your partners beautiful, but it can also be a position that makes you beautiful as well, based on Venus's full aspect to the 1st house in the Vedic system. And that is our exploration of Venus in the 7th.